all, if Meghan was working with them around that time, if all of these people that's there, they all are effing baggage for God. God will know what to do. All right, let's move on. The next tweet that has to do with this one. All right. Don't see any ground for suing here. Sounds like noise and self-promotion to try and win back some credibility. You got found out. Simple. I will say more on. Break it up at your peril. Plenty of food to be picked if you're short of a few bob. Okay, the plan is to sue them. There are consequences of their action. Victoria Arbiter explained why she plans to take legal action against the YouTuber Archie Manor and Josh Peters over what she claims was a manipulative interview prank. You got a freaking adult who doesn't want to take, how do they call this, responsibility for her own action. She knows very well what the guys were doing. All right? So she just got caught and she's ashamed. I saw this after I had did the videos a couple days ago on July 3rd. So let's see what she has to say here.
Can I kind of look at this story and go, well, can I kind of look at this story and go, well, look, it's only a couple of pranksters on YouTube, you know, who really cares? But it did have a very devastating effect on your career, right?
It's been horrific, Camilla, horrific. Yes, people can take it lightly and go, oh, it's just a silly prank. And actually, Josh did an interview post-prank in which he said this video was made at the expense of these royal reporters. And that hit really hard because, yes, it was made at the expense.
You need to feel all this pain you inflicted on Meghan. You were so willingly to jump on board. Why? Because it was about Meghan. Okay, so you are an adult who knew exactly what the intention of those guys. They said plain blank that the thing have not aired yet, but yet you were more than happy to participate. This is your own peril. Okay?
Expense of my livelihood, my future career, my mental, emotional, physical well-being. I didn't leave my house for 2 weeks.
That's your own doing. Okay, there's no sympathy here. There is absolutely no sympathy because you were fully competent as an adult. You're not a teenager. Where if it was a teenager, a younger children, like I stand up with those try to bring to light what those pedos are doing to children. I try to bring light to that. If it was the other woman, I would have stood up for you, but you're a freaking adult. You knew exactly what those young men were trying to do. You were more than willing. Did you cash that check, by the way? That £300 that I think they pay you? You signed the contract. You knew very well the thing was not even aired yet. But you were, again, more than happy to participate. Let me put Harry's video here that says, it's your character. Your character.
It's your character that matters most.
And yet, you come here on that particular show to talk about it because you still haven't learned your lesson yet. If I were you, I'll just shut my mouth, pretend this didn't happen, or said whatever, but yet you're shifting blame to somebody else. You're not taking full responsibility of your participation. Let's continue with your BS.
Because the avalanche of hate was so monumental, so extreme, and the anxiety that has evolved as a result has been devastating. There are times I am so paralyzed by the anxiety associated to what happened. I can't go outside. I don't leave.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Just a little prank. But Meghan was supposed to take it and over and over and over and over again. The same way Meghan is able to find her way and adjust, find your way. But there's no sympathy coming out of me.
My house. And I was just stunned that so many people opted to take a narrative put out by two self-described pranksters at face value. And you actually...
Oh, cry me a river. Cry me a river, lady. You knew what you were getting into. Can you imagine what Meghan had to go through? You were more than happy to spell your name and mention for credibility that you were a CNN contributor or whatever you said you were, along with it.
And we're looking for guests to comment on the interview, basically. So it will be pre-recorded. So we're actually recording it tomorrow, and it's just to offer kind of an immediate reaction to the interview that will then go out after the interview, if that makes sense.
All right, so they're telling them this thing hasn't even been aired yet, but you're more than happy to participate. So it's your own doing. No shame at all.
A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal comment.
Spelling her name too. She's spelling her name too very well. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And then she's the one who's coming out. I mean, what your kid are gonna think about to know this is the line of work you're doing? And then you're bringing this up. Okay, I hope her son doesn't follow her footsteps like she did with her father. But anyway, let's listen.
Commentator for CNN.
Richard Fitzwilliam's royal commentator.
Wait a second. She mentioned CNN on that piece of lie she was gonna say. So no wonder why CNN got rid of her too. She mentioned CNN on that. Let's see here. Oh, that's too far back. Maybe somewhere. That's her father. Okay, I think I went too far. All right, let's see here.
Coming out in a few days' time.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN.
There it
Richard
is.
Fitzwilliam.
She includes CNN in there. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why CNN don't want to associate in that. Yeah, you know this was a lie, but you mentioned CNN in it. So that's probably that. As soon as you mentioned CNN within that video, and you were fully aware that you were gonna lie, you mentioned CNN as part of that. This is why CNN, I think, boot you. All right? I would love to hear from CNN why they got rid of you, or they didn't reassign you your contract. But let's listen.
She said something in your newsletter this week, and this really hit home too. Forgive me, I'm going to paraphrase slightly, but at the end of it, you said that given the nature of the internet, a lie can go around the world in a split second before the truth has a chance to put its trousers on.
Yeah, that's
There it is. There it is. This is it. This is what Meghan had to go through. All right? This is what Meghan has to go through. And this is why the squad are all over the world are freaking upset with you and so many other people. The royal rats. Because you know very well how quickly lies spread. The same way the bullying where ketchup spread like wildfire before the Oprah interview started. The same way you guys keep on 24/7. What is it? How many times did they say they write article about Meghan?
There's a huge amount of content published about Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They are good business. It's something crazy like 15,000 mentions of them online every day. So they are the whole royal family, and particularly Duke and Duchess of Sussex, a really big business for the tabloids. And then we all know about negativity bias and how bad news, negative headlines tend to do better online, which is a really sort of unattractive part of the algorithms that are used. So I think all of that feeds into the coverage.
But none of you give a damn rats about that, about the truth. You were more than willing to spread a lie. Let me listen to your nonsense some more. Cry me a river, lady. Cry me a river.
That given the nature of the internet, a lie can go around the world in a split second before the truth has a chance to put its trousers on.
Yeah, that's true.
And Archie and Josh, when lawyers got involved, they removed me voluntarily from the video. But the damage was done. I lost my job. I have...
Oh, poor you.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN.
This is why many of you royal rats are spreading misinformation about Harry and Meghan, mostly Meghan, because you want to smear her name, tarnish her name, put a stain on her name. That way, nobody will do business with her. I've been saying that. So the tarnishedness you had added along with your name, and you add CNN on that stupidity of, well, it was a brilliant video because they caught you guys are lying without even seeing the video. This is why CNN had to remove don't want to associate with you.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN.
Because you were participating on a campaign of lies. You were fully aware the video was not aired yet, but you were willing to give your analysis, how do they call this? People who, telepathic, I would say, telepathic kind of opinion about an interview that haven't even aired yet. This is why CNN, you tarnish, okay? Tarnishing CNN.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN. And I am royal commentator for CNN.
By putting CNN next to you. I'm not saying CNN is a saint on this, but on that specific situation, this is it. All right, let's continue.
I haven't worked in the US since March 2021.
Let's repeat it.
But the damage was done. I
Yeah.
lost my job. I haven't worked in the US since March 2021.
But then again,
All right, but let me cut that other nonsense off. So, what is it? The other royal back. What was I thinking? You haven't worked in the US. Oh, this is it. What is it? The same group of people who were trying to get you the job with CNN, and CNN at first did not want to take you. Go back to these people to put word out for you someplace else. Don't use Oprah anymore.
I'd been hosting in New York for a number of years, working as a presenter. My agent went to the networks and said, I've got Victoria Arbiter. She spent part of her life living at Kensington Palace. Her father worked for the Queen. He was a press secretary to the Queen. And they were like, no, we don't know her, we don't know her, we don't know her, which of course is sort of the brick wall that many people hit. Well, my agent then sent in the clip of my family appearing on the Oprah show, and suddenly it was, yeah, okay, we'll give her a shot.
Okay, it was Oprah's video that your people from the UK, I'm assuming, I don't know, your spokespeople, your representative were trying to get you a job. Okay, they can't do it. They can't get you the job that you wanted, but they had to use Oprah to get you the job. So leave Oprah now. Okay, don't use Oprah anymore. Find your own. Use those boys' video, those YouTube video, but then again, you got your lawyers to remove you from it. Use those YouTube videos, what is it? I think it's Josh and Archie, all right? Videos to get you other job, to lie, okay? But you can't use Oprah anymore. You cannot use Oprah anymore. This is your own peril. But let's listen to your nonsense and climb your river some more.
Victoria, this is also CNN's fault. Why are CNN as bothered by this? They just caved into social media pressure. I mean, I
Wait
had
a second.
all this. I had all this.
Wait. Are you serious? She's blaming CNN? Let me review this again. Okay, definitely now CNN does not want to associate now. Definitely. All right, let's see here.
This is also CNN's fault. Why are CNN as bothered by this? They just caved into social media pressure. I mean, I had all this.
Remember, she brought CNN into that. Victoria only mentioned that she hasn't worked in the U.S. She didn't mention CNN, but there she is. She bringing CNN and that. Oh my God, definitely. CNN is running away from these people. You're blaming CNN? Why did she spell her name and mention CNN? She works for CNN.
Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN. And I am royal commentator for CNN. And I am royal commentator for CNN.
Because she was using CNN again as credibility. And then you knew you were going to lie. And this is why CNN is removing. Oh my God, you can put these two together? But let's listen to her BS. Oh my God, two airheads putting together, talking nonsense.
March 2021.
But then again, Victoria, this is also CNN's fault. Why are CNN as bothered by this? They just caved into social media pressure. I mean, I had all this. I had all this when I wrote perfectly legitimate and true stories about Harry.
Perfectly legitimate. Okay. This is someone who hang out with pedos and expect pedos to go free without any consequences. But let's listen to those two airheads.
And Meghan, I had an absolute pile on from the Sussex squad. Thankfully, I was supported. I had all this when I wrote perfectly legitimate and true stories about Harry and Meghan. I had an absolute pile on from the Sussex squad. Thankfully, I was supported by my newspaper.
Well, firstly, I would urge you not to read tabloids because I don't think that's healthy for anyone. Hopefully one day they come with a warning label like cigarettes do, like this is toxic for your mental health.
Yet CNN just cut.
Is it those newspapers Meghan Sue and won? I don't know. I'm just guessing. But okay, this is why she had to touch her forehead, because she could comprehend. She could not comprehend why people were upset. Oh my God, the UK is infested. The UK, they all are baggage for God. They all are baggage for God. They are in a different universe. They can't see reality. Baggage for God. Baggage for God. Okay. I interrupt this because too much BS is being spilled here.
Cut you loose.
And they didn't investigate what happened. And that's the part that really hurt. I'd been with CNN for 8 years.
To give their reaction to Harry and Meghan's interview 3 days before they had even seen it. To give their reaction to Harry and Meghan's interview 3 days before they had even seen it. We found some royal experts and used our very own royal expert to gauge their interest.
Together a special for a UK broadcaster to be broadcast immediately after the interview that Harry and Meghan have given to CBS with Oprah. The interview that Harry and Meghan have given to CBS with Oprah.
There it is. This is the disclaimer here. He's giving them the disclaimer, but they went along with it.
And we're looking for guests to comment on the interview, basically. So it will be pre-recorded. So we're actually recording it tomorrow, and it's just to offer kind of an immediate reaction to the interview that will then go out after the interview, if that makes sense.
Since the public already made up their minds about Harry and Meghan's interview before seeing it,
this is the poison they're putting in people's mind. So
this is what happened.
INVICTUS is the editor of Majesty magazine.
Have you ever read Majesty magazine?
No, but neither does anyone else, so that's all right.
We're going to be doing a post-match analysis of Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah, which is obviously coming out in a few days' time. We're going to be doing a post-match analysis of Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah, which is obviously coming out in a few days' time.
My name is Victoria.
Okay, all this is the, how will I say that? The warning, how will I say that? What they're getting themselves into. All right, so they're telling them this thing hasn't even been aired yet, but you're more than happy to participate. So it's your own doing. There she is right there. No shame at all.
A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal comment.
Spelling her name too. She's spelling her name too very well. Don't miss it. Let's see here.
Coming out in a few days' time.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN. And CNN has its detractors, but I loved working there. It was an incredibly professional team.
Oh, please, CNN, please do your investigation. Well, then again, I don't think they want to spend another few seconds with you guys, because there's plenty of other people that can replace you the same way. With the Johnny Depp thing, they don't put up with nonsense. All right, they got the platform, and then there's a lot of people who wants that spot, but you F it up yourself, so they're just gonna pick the next person who wants to work with them. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I just can't believe these people.
We didn't have to talk
it by my newspaper, yet CNN just cut you loose.
And they didn't investigate what happened. And that's the part that really hurt. I'd been with CNN for 8 years, and CNN has its detractors, but I loved working there. It was an incredibly professional team. We didn't have to talk to a lot of the speculation. It was very fact-driven, fact-based, and I really appreciated the time I was there, and I had a good track record. I was there 8 years. I was well established there in terms of royal coverage, but I was a contributor. I wasn't a full-time employee, and the abuse was so extreme, and they were inundated by people demanding I be fired.
Who cares this much? Who cares this much? I mean, honestly. But just to wrap up,
it's lies. You poisoning the mind with lies. This is why. I don't know who did that. It's because you're poisoning the mind. The same thing you said at the beginning. With the speed of the internet, the news travel fast before the truth can be revealed. It's because you were spreading lies, poisoning minds. This is why, okay? You knew you were lying. You knew you did not see the interview, but yet you participate. You wanted to spread your lies. This is why. And then you mentioned CNN name in it. If you did not mention CNN and that particular video, I probably will reserve my how will I say that? I will reserve my opinion about CNN, but you mentioned CNN in it. You mention it.
Is Victoria Arbiter, AR, B as in boy, ITER, and I am royal commentator for CNN. Royal commentator for CNN.
People would have give a pass and say, okay, you know, you're the only one we have that was there with the royal family or whatever. You grew up with them and all of that. But you mentioned CNN. You work for CNN. So with that clout of negativity, spreading lies, and you know the boys were going to interview you about a video that was not even aired yet. Nobody have seen it. I think it was 2 days before the Oprah interview, but yet you participate to give your opinion about something that no one have seen.
To give their reaction to Harry and Meghan's interview 3 days before they had even seen it. To give their reaction to Harry and Meghan's interview 3 days before they had even seen it.
This is why CNN does not want to be participating. If they continue with this, mentioning CNN on their BS, there's a possibility CNN might sue them, because I don't think CNN will want to be in this environment. Okay, even though CNN have its issues, I don't watch CNN that much, but occasionally, you know, with YouTube clips of CNN things, I'll watch. But I don't think CNN wants to be in that mix. But they better be careful. But let's listen.
Victoria, just because I've got an eye on the clock here, what are you going to do now? Because I think you're fighting back against your cancellation.
Oh. I am. Well, Camilla, two things here. So it was incredibly important to me to clear my name. People are saying, why are you speaking out now? It's taken this long to have the courage to speak out about it because, of course, the avalanche of hate.
Oh, cry me a river. Oh, poor little fragile soul who were more vicious to put so much pain and suffering onto Meghan. Poor fragile soul. But let's listen to your incredible pain and suffering that I'm packaging and to give to God because you still haven't learned your lesson. Let's listen.
That came today was extreme, but I'm kind of numb to it now. The people calling me a Nazi probably don't know that my father was born during the Blitz to German Jewish refugees who escaped the Nazi regime. They don't know that...
Oh, cry me a river. I try not to talk about what the Jews are doing and to the Palestine, but let's listen. I'm not going to get there. But many people who have gone through so many things should have understand so they don't inflict those pain onto others. But continue. But for you, it was all fair games when it is Meghan. That's the problem here. Because it was Meghan, you were more than willing to participate on the vicious lies and misinformation. Let's continue.
That my grandmother's father, after being rounded up, opted to throw himself under the wheels of a cattle car to avoid being taken to a concentration camp. So it was important to me I clear my name to state categorically on the record that I did not lie. I didn't offer a reaction.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you already spoke. You spoke. The truth is out there. The guy said, okay, like you said at the beginning of this interview, because you got your lawyers involved, they were more than willing to remove your clip out. But guess what? The clips are still existing in many other places because you were more than willing to participate. There was no gun put in your head to speak. I just would like to know, did you cash the check? The $300 or £300 that they gave you to speak misinformation. Okay? You could say all you want, lady. You could say all you want. The fact is you were more than willing to participate. Okay? All right? I'm sorry your parents or your Jews or whatever went through some of those headaches because human suffering should never be in existence. I'm sorry, but you were willing to inflict human pain, okay, man-made pain onto others, like Meghan, to speak misinformation when you knew very well it was false and you knew it would cause her pain, but you were more than willing to participate. You are a huge baggage for God. And then for you to come here trying to, how do you say that? Mess with people's intellect, that it is, trying to mess with people's intellectual understanding of reality. You already did it. But let's listen to your BS.
So it was important to me I clear my name, to state categorically on the record that I did not lie, I didn't offer a reaction, I didn't review the show, I spoke to how things have been done before.
Whatever. Let's see here. I forgot. There it is. Okay. I spell Love because that's the way she spelled her name in that interview. Love that music for her. She knew she was going to lie about an interview she did not see, and she dared to mention CNN within that same video. You think CNN wants to associate itself with a lied video. She can blame the Sussex squad all she wants. I didn't think anyone point a gun at her to lie. Okay, exactly. I didn't. She read the contract before signing it and taking the pound. Just leave this right there. Allow your enemies their space to hate. They will destroy themselves in the process. Yep. All right. Day in, day out. Okay, she took 300 pounds to lie, and now she's doing it for free. Okay, let's see here. I see what she said here. Okay, she could sue for misrepresentation or fraud, but as her behavior was also misrepresentation and the fact she wasn't an employee of CNN and they aren't obliged to renew a contract, she struggled. You said it, regardless of how the interview was used, she knew she hadn't seen the Oprah interview and agreed to lie and pretend she had in order to defame Harry and Meghan. Once you sell the interview, it's no longer in your control. It belongs to production. She can't sue. Okay, she nauseating lie, got caught, and point a finger at anyone to deflect your spot on. Okay, I'll go in it. There's one comment under that. Okay, this is nothing but an attempt to get some work again. CNN was not in the about the lying British royal reporters, but they are now. Yep, that's it. That is true. And then for them to mention CNN in this particular interview,
then Victoria. This is also CNN's fault. Why are CNN? Then, Victoria, this is also CNN's fault. Why are CNN?
Okay, instead of staying quiet, and they're bringing, and this is why she was talking so nicely, so highly of CNN.
And CNN has its detractors, but I loved working there. It was an incredibly professional team.
Oh, please, CNN, do not part of that anymore. What I do not understand is how she is willingly allow anonymous fans to be presented as being responsible for booking her for the video, producing video, and making money from the video. Two British news organizations are pushing disinformation, and she's talking about her credibility. Once a liar, always a liar. I just read that. Also, her national are huge. Oh my God. Sussex Squaddies should sue her. Everyone should sue her because I didn't do it. I don't know who else she's talking about because I didn't contact CNN. Okay, Sussex Squaddies should sue her. Why do they keep saying Sussex Squad? Camilla Tomlin has lied about Harry and Meghan and their children. That's why she mentioned CNN there. Was it the people she worked for had to stand by her? Because they want her to continue the lies. I don't know what other credibility these people have outside of the UK. And this one had it. She had work outside of the UK, but she effed it up. Oh my God. Okay, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can force it to drink. We all have choices. Real journalists will know how to ask and answer questions. You can never blame an interrogator for your answer. What is it? This is that that video of this writer where, I don't know, some British newspaper were asking her to write about Harry and Meghan, even though she never met any one of them. They're forcing her, oh, but you could write this about Meghan, you could write that, this and that, you could say this. I'll put the clip here. And she didn't take it.
I was called by the Sun newspaper. If you don't know what the Sun is, it's sort of
got the topless girl on page 3. That's all you need to know.
And they called me about a month ago to ask if I'd write about how Meghan was like Wallace and how Meghan was going to destroy the royal family and the arguments between Meghan and Kate. And I said, I'm really sorry, I'm just not privy to all of this. I don't think I could do it. And the commissioning editor was really twisting my arm to write this article and say, but you could say, couldn't you, that X happened, and you could say that she's fired all her staff, and you could say that Kate has said this. And I said, well, I'm really sorry, I don't know that, I can't do it. And this conversation went on for about half an hour, and I didn't write the article, but it just gives you an insight into how this whole thing is being, you know, the flames are being fanned by the media, is
You've heard the phrase
view.
cottage industry, this is a palace industry. Yeah.
Okay, this is, you know, the character of these people. All right, let me read what's on the screen and then move to the next one. I have a lot.